familiar friends, a lot of colleagues, a lot of people who have been an inspiration to me. How? Hey, Harry, hey. There's a fan club there. So that's tremendous. My name is Jonathan Mpake, as Eugene has said, and today I want to talk to you about persistence, purpose, and passion, the triple P that has directed my life. As I begin, I want to tell a very short story. When I started my first job at Value Logistics, my first real job, I was day 2 going to work at Diesel Road. I was excited. I had my dad with me in the bus. And as I'm there, I'm like, yes, this is a real job. I was selling perfume. I was selling sweets on the road. So, this is a formal ride job. And as I'm there, I'm excited. I'm about to get off the bus. The place is Isando. That's the modern suburban pronunciation. If you're like me, it's Isando, the township pronunciation of it. And as I'm there, I'm about to get out of the bus. I'm going to start my destiny. But as I'm there and I'm trying to take a step out of the bus, the guy decided to drive away. And I fell out of the bus and landed on my arm. There's some stuff that the doctor said, what, big English, broke, and all of these funny things that they said. But the reality is, I said to myself, my father had spoken to Stephen Herbst, who's now the group marketing director for Value. And Stephen said to him, I need someone. No one is applying for this job. You told me about your son. He's applied for this. Bring him, let him start training. And I was on the ground, face first on the floor, eating the dust for real. And I said, this is unacceptable. My father did not raise me to stay on the ground face first and accept the circumstances, even if they're negative. And I stood up, dusted myself off, and went to work. Stephen was concerned, what's happening? You keep on touching your arm, but don't worry, I need to go to the doctor. The next day I came back with a cast on my right hand that I'm right-handed. But I said to Stephen, this is unacceptable. I will not stay on the ground. I will not give up. I will not give in. As a fleet manager, you are thrown with so many things that you have to deal with. Like Eugene has said, so many times it's not the job that you wanted to do. Okay, I switched it off. Okay, this is good. Fleet management people with technology. That's why I have Hein and Clay. They sort out all my problems. But you are faced with so many things that are upon you, and you have to make decisions that are correct, decisions that are right, because it's more than just a job. It's more than just a function. It's actually a calling. So I think change the next slide, because this thing is giving me problems. Can I have the next slide? So one of the things that you have to do, and I've had to do in persistence, is overcoming the obstacles that seem insurmountable. But those obstacles do not remain. As a fleet manager, there's so many things that come. You must worry about fuel consumption, CPK, total cost of ownership, or in my area, you must worry about people with AK-47s and bombs trying to get money and get their own Christmas at this time of the year or during election, whatever they're doing. You have to worry about all of these things, put them together, but it's not just about the semantics and everything that's involved. It's about getting people home safe. There's a safety element to it. And you have to strive for excellence. Like I said, in my environment, one of my key KPIs is the person must come back home safe. They must come back alive. But there are protocols, there are procedures, there are irrefutable principles of fleet management that must be applied. If I talk to George van Heerden sitting here and I say to him, George, I want a specific tire because some of my vehicles get shot at and I need a better tire so that if they get shot, I'm hoping they will be able to drive away to safety. That is a part of it. If I talk to Clay about different types of telematics, video telematics that are enabling us to keep our guys home safe or get them home safe, that are enabling us to look into the vehicle and actually not just take what we see, but use something about it, we are striving for the excellence. And the next slide. And it is a purpose-driven excellence. What we want to do with this program is that people who are in fleet management sometimes are the guys at the bottom. They're in the warehouse. They're looking at chap pallets. They're doing all types of things. They're worried about turnaround time. They're worried about OTIF. They're worried about all of these elements. But we want to empower them so that they are professional in everything that they do because they contribute to the total road safety in South Africa. Gone are the days where we will blame everyone else and not abdicate our own responsibility. It is a purpose-driven ideal. It is absolutely fundamental that we change the tires, we maintain the vehicles, we train our drivers, but also train the people who are behind the drivers so that, yes, we have economic benefit, but they get home safe. And we want to give them the skills, the aptitude, the ideals, the understanding. When I give them a home so they can share knowledge so that they can do their work better. Next slide, please. So in my life, there's been passion. It's about passion. It's about everything that we have to do. It's about looking at my life and saying, I'm not just doing this for now, but there's a purpose, there's persistence, and there's a passion. And that passion leads to excellence. Next slide, please. Maybe you can skip this one. I strongly believe that we have to talk to our drivers, not at our drivers, and encourage them. They move the economy. They do so much. But those people who are behind them have to be equipped. The next slide, please. And the call to what we want to do with this. We want to embrace best practice. We want the professionalization and the acknowledgement of fleet managers in all that they do. We want that to be clear. We want that to be concise to them. We want to uplift and empower them. We want to educate them so that collectively we start making a dent in the carnage that's on the road. We start professionalizing. We start lifting the economy of the country. This purpose is not just inside the truck. This purpose is not just on paper. This purpose is not just an ideal, but this purpose has meaning. This purpose is a destiny. This purpose is a calling. So I want to encourage you today, join with us, partner with us. We are going to change. We are going to revolutionize this industry through uplifting the fleet managers and making them professional. Next slide as I close. The last two sentences, what is my why? My father was a truck driver for many a year, over 30 years. And I do this because I know the feeling that it is to be one of the children waiting for the truck driver to come back home safe. And I do everything with a passion, and I put myself in the seats of those children. And my mom who had to wait for him, and my sister who had to wait for him. And through his salary, through him sacrificing, doing this, he got everyone to progress in his family. Thank you very much. No. So thank you very much once again. And just to reiterate and encapsulate what was discussed today, fleet managers are essential, they're necessary. And as you've heard from the panel discussion, there is so much science, there is so much data, and what we need is insights. What we need is actionable insights. We need a picture that will help us manage our vehicles properly because there's people behind it. Eugene, he doesn't punt and market himself, but one of the things that we have done over the years in partnership with Master Drive is that we've taken the insights and the data that the esteemed panel was talking about, and when we give it to a Eugene to say, train my driver, there's like a map that says, these are the gaps where this person is. This is where we need to help him. This is where we need to empower him to do what is right. So in the same breath, if you flip that to fleet managers, we need to have that map for ourselves. Eugene spoke about a gentleman who couldn't connect with the crowd. As a fleet manager, you must ask for capex. In my life, you must be able to talk to bankers and people who have great financial language. They will ask you about PBIT. I'm like, who is PBIT? What is he? What is his surname? Who is this guy? They will ask you about profitability and all of these things. And you're going to have able to have a financial acumen, an acumen to talk to exco level people, an acumen to discern what is happening with your fleet, with your team, commensurate to the economic challenges that your particular business faces. An acumen of taking data and saying, how do I use this data to avoid cost or become more efficient? Johan spoke about TMS. A lot of people have a misconception of what TMS is. It's transport management solution. It's not a software alone, but how do you integrate looking at your deliveries, your collections, your reverse logistics in a platform where it's data, but that actually says to you, how can I keep the promise to my customer? What is customer centricity really in the transport and supply chain world? So all of this are the skills that are needed for fleet managers. And I want to encourage each and every one of the people in the room, the people online, partner with us. Like I said, this is a calling. This is a call to action. This is something that's going to shake the very foundations of fleet management in the country. And I'm encouraging you, get in the vehicle with us. Let's start it's not a skoro Zolabat taxi, no. Get in the vehicle with us and let's go to a journey of excellence. At this stage, I want to call up Nishani, the lady who's behind the scenes, the one who does all the good and excellent work. Without Nishani, we can't do anything. She puts up with all our nonsense and all our strange things that we throw at her last minute, and she just makes it all the while better. So we want to let's give Nishani a hand as she comes in.